What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
Such reasons included bold but unsuccessful designs, prototypes of future serial variants, vehicles not approved by military customers, numerous technical and production difficulties, lack of complex units, financial problems, etc. Rare two-axle vehicles of the Gorky automobile plant GAZ-63V is 63AV, 1954, against the background of serial trucks GAZ-63 the only little. Known examples were three prototype trucks GAZ-63V and GAZ-63AV with winches, designed to improve lateral stability. They were equipped with 80 to 100 mm wider track, curved frame members, lowering the body by 70 mm, removable roof, extended fenders, and squat hood. These works were not successful and were discontinued. GAZ-68, 1948 to 1949. Four experimental light-wheeled artillery tractors GAZ-68 or ATKL were made in the spirit of American low-profile military vehicles, but were based on a shortened chassis of GAZ-63 truck with rear lever shock absorbers, front winch, wooden or metal bodies with awning and longitudinal benches for the crew of the towed gun. With the production of GAZ-63 vehicles on the assembly line, the production of this vehicle was considered inexpedient. GAZ-62 of the first series, 1952 to 1955. As part of the creation of a one-ton family of multi-purpose military vehicles in October 1952, the first bonneted model of 76 horsepower. GAZ-62 with an integrated cab, 9-seat metal body with longitudinal benches and removable awning was assembled. GAZ-62A was equipped with a front winch. Both were unified with GAZ-63 and GAZ-51 trucks, an experimental 1.5-ton version of GAZ-56 and armored vehicles BTR-40. Until 1955, 5 vehicles with sealed brakes, high-friction differentials and different types of wheels were assembled and tested. But there was no spare capacity for them in Gorky and Ulyanovsk. GAZ-62 of the second series, 1959 to 1962. The cab-over GAZ-62 trucks were a fundamentally new design with an open cabin over the serial 70 horsepower engine, a number of advanced units and folding benches in 3 types of bodies with a capacity of up to 10 people. They became famous for their revolutionary 80 horsepower gasoline engine with pre-chamber flare ignition, the first in the world installed on military vehicles. Other design innovations included high-poured main gears, tire pressure control system, cam-type interwheel differentials with increased friction and suspensions with telescopic hydraulic shock absorbers. Only 69 copies were assembled, which were abandoned by the military in favor of the new Army truck GAZ-66. Rare 3-axle trucks of the Moscow plant ZIS and ZL, the first prototypes of ZIS-121, 1946 to 1947. After the war, the first Army vehicle of 2.5-ton class was ZIS-151, 6x6. The first truck was assembled in May 1946 and, of course, outwardly resembled the Studebaker with American axles, transfer case, and Soviet engine ZIS-120. In the fall, the second, more promising single-axle version with a middle-through axle and a cab with a front cladding from ZS-150 appeared. At the tests it showed better results and later carried the unofficial index ZS-151-1. Despite this, the military favored the first truck with rear double wheels and all-metal cab with semicircular or rectangular grille, which had the factory designation ZIS-151-2. Prospective developments on the basis of ZIS-151, 1953 to 1956. In the process of serial production, the ZIS-151 trucks served as the basis for an extensive family of experimental vehicles of search, designs to evaluate the effectiveness of layout solutions, power units, and systems to improve cross-country ability. There were a dozen of prototypes with all single wheels, special cabins, low-profile bodies, lightened chassis, differential locking, new plumage, and a system of air pressure regulation in all tires with external tire inflation. Some of them became the predecessors of ZL-157 and ZL-131 trucks. Prototypes of ZL-157 trucks, 1953 to 1958. The structural basis of the ZL-157 family were prototypes on the ZS-151 chassis with all single wheels, reinforced engines, and tire. Inflation system with external air supply. In the spring of 1955, a prototype ZIS-121G was created, which had all these qualities, which soon became a lightweight 110 horsepower version of the ZIS-157. In the process of putting the ZIL-157 trucks on the assembly line, this design received internal air supply to the tires through trunnions, between the wheel hub bearings. About little-known prototypes of the multi-purpose cargo family ZL-131 we have already told the first Ural. All-terrain vehicles Ural-381, 1957, the exception in the family of modernized civilian 3-ton trucks of the Ural automobile plant. From Myas were 2 trial paramilitary trucks Ural-381, 4x4, with rear double wheels. They were equipped with 104 to 114 horsepower engine, front axles from GAZ-63 or their own design, as well as different equal angle joints. After the tests, the trucks were recognized as obsolete and did not meet the new military requirements. NOMI 020, a little-known prototype of Ural-375, 1956 to 1957, in accordance with the tactical and technical requirements for the future. Generation of all-wheel drive Army vehicles adopted by the Ministry of Defense of the USSR. In 1953, the Scientific Automobile and Motor Institute, NOMI, developed a bonneted 5-ton Army truck NOMI 020 with a single-slope axle. In 1956, it was assembled and tested at the experimental plant of the Institute. A revolutionary for its time experimental Army truck NOMI 020. 1956, the plating and all-metal cab with folding windows, blind hood sides and a hatch in the roof were made by the Gorky automobile plant. All-metal cargo platform was equipped with 3 rows of longitudinal folding benches for personnel and removable awning. Under it there was a winch with a horizontal drum and the ability to pull the cable forward and backward. Fragments of tests of the NOMI 020 vehicle in different regions of the Soviet Union. 1956 to 1957, the NOMI 020 had an experimental overhead valve V8 engine with an output of 180 horsepower with a preheater, electric starter, and duplicate pneumatic starting system. Synchronized 5-speed gearbox of Yaroslavl automobile plant worked with a 2-stage transfer case with asymmetrical axle differential and front axle disconnection mechanism. The front wheels were driven by ball joints of equal angular velocity. The rear bogie with a middle-through axle, suspended on longitudinal balance springs, was equipped with a symmetrical center differential with pneumatic locking. Rare for its time novelties were sealed wheel drum brakes with hydropneumatic drive, power steering, hydraulic spare wheel elevator and heated batteries. At the military tests of 1956 to 1957, conducted at the Range 21 IC and in different climatic zones, was presented a modified Army version NOMI 020 with 10 air intake holes on both sides of the hood and light camouflage headlights. It overcame the snowfield up to 1 meter, fords up to 1.2 meters deep, reached a speed of 75 kilometers per hour and towed a 5-ton trailer. According to the results of state tests, NOMI 020 was recommended for serial production at the Ural automobile plant, and in May 1957, it was transferred to Myas for familiarization. Experimental Ural-Moscow Ural-375, 1958 to 1961, a rather short preparatory period for the study of the NOMI 020 truck was completed. In the spring of 1958, when the Ural automobile plant created its own 2 trucks Ural-ZS-NOMI 375, radically different from the Moscow prototype. They were equipped with all-metal cabins of their own design and from the future ZL-131, new unified drive axles, steering mechanisms, disc wheels, and modernized suspension. Together with the NOMA designers, the work was carried out to eliminate remarks and prepare technical documentation for the organization of serial production of the vehicle. In January 1961, the result of their work was the mass Army truck Ural-375. The title photo shows a unique military truck NOMI 020, built in Moscow and almost completely redesigned in Ural, except for the tire pressure control system. In conclusion, the GAZ-68, ZIS-121, Ural-381, NOMI 020, and other lesser-known post-war trucks represent a fascinating chapter in automotive history. Despite their innovative designs and potential, these vehicles never made it to mass production, leaving us to wonder how they might have shaped the transportation landscape. Exploring these forgotten models not only highlights the creativity and ambition of their creators but also serves as a reminder of the many paths not taken in the evolution of truck design. Thank you for joining us on this journey through automotive obscurity, and we hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for these unique machines.